Grant Cardone tried to turn my daughter and myself into Scientologists without us even knowing it. This is what I broke down to be my experience and my opinion of what actually happened. I want to talk to you about this today on this episode of today's Misguided Mentors. Welcome back, guys. If you are on Instagram, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to today's Misguided Mentors so that I can see your comments and I can engage with you on that platform. So I want to talk to you guys about this, and I think it would be appropriate for me to start this by talking to you about what Scientology is, and then the other thing I want to talk about is how they employ sales tactics. I think it's important for me to start there, and it might make sense a little bit later, and then for obvious reasons, I'm going to segue into what I feel like happened to me and my daughter, and that they were trying to turn us into straight up Scientologists. And I'll explain that. And I'll even have Malia herself come in here and chat about it towards the end of it. She can give you her thoughts about it. We can also reflect on a couple videos, and she can share her memory to the best of her memory on some of these experiences. Excuse me. On some of these experiences that we had. And I got some videos we can kind of use to reflect on those memories. So anyways, let's get right into it. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate everybody's support on this. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions on things that you want me to cover, things I can improve on, I will say this. I was looking at my analytics the other day, and you guys all know this is a very fresh, new YouTube podcast I started. Quickly, I'm going to start turning this into an interview podcast, and I'm going to be basically interviewing people, which is going to make it a little more entertaining and more engaging. But I was looking at my analytics, and it looks like, I'm like, what do people gravitate towards? What are they liking? What's the most viewed videos I got? And it seems like everybody enjoys me talking about certain misguided mentors. Obviously, my former mentor, Grant Cardone, I'll talk about periodically. Guys like Wes Watson, Andy Elliott, so on and so forth. And so I'll definitely make sure, since that's what it seems like everybody likes, whether it's clickbait, thumbnails, or whatever you guys seem to gravitate towards, I want to make sure that I'm putting out that type of material. If you guys are enjoying that, it's part of the channel anyway, so it's not like I'm going out of my way to talk about things that aren't relevant. And I think it's important for me to highlight certain misguided mentors, in my opinion, and talk about them on top of helping people navigate the self-development space and what to look out for, red flags, and how to make sure they protect themselves when they get in proximity with some of these misguided mentors. How's it going, Kat? Good to see you on here. You were saying you didn't watch the Super Bowl, but you saw they ran an ad during the game. I heard about that. I'm actually going to make a post about that. I totally forgot that you said that, because when I seen something on that, I can't remember who made a post about that, but I seen that and I was like, no way. So I'm going to take a peek at it, and then I'll actually break down that ad. You know what? I'll take a peek on this as well. Let me see something. Super Bowl commercial. Church of Scientology premieres The Question during Super Bowl LIX. That's funny. That's interesting. Wow. I'm actually blown away by that. That's crazy. So we'll touch base on that. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention again. So I think it's appropriate for us to talk about a few of these things. Let me get right into it. And then, like I said, we'll segue into what I believe happened to me and my daughter as they were trying to turn us into Scientologists without us even knowing it, which is pretty fucking scary in my opinion. Pardon my French. All right, let me share my screen, and I will get right into it. I want to talk about what Scientology is, talk about their sales tactics and how relevant they are to Grant Cardone's 10X organization. And yeah, we'll get into that. But let's just start with this. What's going on here? Here we go. Okay, so I pulled up the definition of Scientology. So Scientology, and by the way, this is not, my channel is not about Scientology. It's not like Aaron Smith Levins, who's a friend of mine. It's not like his channel. It's not like Natalie Webster's channel, who's also a friend of mine. They focus on Scientology. My channel is about misguided mentors in general, particularly in the self-development space, it seems like. The reason I talk about Scientology is because Grant Cardone is my former mentor, and he is in fact one of the biggest recruiters and contributors and donators to Scientology. That's why I talk about Scientology. But I don't talk a lot about it because I'm trying to cover the broad subject of deception and manipulation within the networking and the self-help space and coaching space. And it just so happens that Grant Cardone was my mentor for several years, and I was a 10X business coach for several years as well. And he was a Scientologist. He is a Scientologist, and he's one of the biggest contributors to Scientology. And we'll talk about more of that later, but that's the relevance to me talking about Scientology. All right, let's get into this. Scientology is a religious system based on the seeking of self-knowledge and spiritual fulfillment through graded courses of study and training. It was founded by the American science fiction writer Ron Hubbard. Notice I emphasize the word science fiction writer. Well, the reason I emphasize it is because the beliefs of Scientology and the beliefs that Scientology was based on are very science fiction-esque. Okay? So, and I might get into that a little bit. I'm just randomly searching up some stuff so you guys can get a better grasp on what Scientology is, because I didn't know what Scientology was the entire time I was a part of Grant Cardone's organization and the entire time I was a 10X business coach under his mentorship. How crazy is that? It wasn't until I voluntarily left that I started researching Scientology and finding out what it was, and my mind was blown. I couldn't believe that I in fact felt like I was being turned into a Scientologist without me even knowing it. It was kind of scary, to be honest. So basically, Scientologists believe each person is an immortal being, a force that believers call a thetan. You move up the bridge to freedom by working toward being an operating thetan, which at the highest level transcends material law. Says David, who I don't know who that is. So anyway, Ron Hubbard founded this, and basically it means knowing how to know. The word logos, the Greek word logos, means knowing how to know. I don't know what the relevance of that is, but basically Scientology is further defined as the study and handling of the spirit and relationship to itself, universes, and other life. So look, I'm a very spiritual person. I like spirituality. I like deep thought. I like consciousness. I like intuition. I like that conversation. I love that. And I love talking about energy. I believe in all that stuff. However, the way Scientology seems to have twisted this topic is very weird, in my opinion. He talks about how Jesus is described inconsistently. The question is, does Scientology believe in Jesus? Jesus is described inconsistently and most awfully unfavorable by Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology. In early writings and lectures, Ron Hubbard considered Jesus merely a teacher in his time, but later Ron Hubbard described Jesus and the crucifixion as fictitious, meaning it was fake and never happened. So pretty crazy. This is interesting. I'm just going down the list here of Scientology. I've never actually Googled this before. Scientology's three main principles are the belief that human beings are immortal, that a person's life experience transcends a single lifetime, and that human beings possess infinite capabilities. Again, some of that sounds super inspirational. Some of that sounds super powerful, and generally speaking, can be related to spirituality and may have some positive, influence and some uplifting truth to it. However, Some of that sounds weird as well. And I feel like some of this good is being used for bad. Let me just point that out, by the way. I've noticed that a lot of the people, especially misguided mentors, when they're out here deceiving and manipulating people, they use good concepts for bad. They use something good to reel you in, to get you to drop your guard down by using fake vulnerability and reeling you in, and then showing you their real selves and their real agenda and their real motivation, which usually ends up being them trying to control your mind and them trying to just get money out of you and them trying to use you to recruit other people to get into the organization as well. And this is why I feel like I'll talk about that. I'm going to make sure I make that note because this is very important for me to talk about and why I felt like I was being turned into a Scientologist. What is the golden rule of Scientology? Try not to do things to others that would not like them to do to you. That's the golden rule of the Bible, as far as I know. Try to treat others as you would want them to treat you. So I don't know if Ron Hubbard thought he made that up or if he just ripped that off straight up from the Bible. I'm pretty sure that's a golden rule of the Bible. I could be wrong. Someone correct me if I am. Who are famous Scientologists? Hey, let's check this out. Christy Alley. I didn't know she passed away. Christy Alley passed away. Wow. That's the actress from Look Who's Talking, I believe, with John Travolta. Wow, that makes sense because Christy Alley and John Travolta were both the main actors in Look Who's Talking. That's pretty crazy. You know what's crazy? I've noticed that Scientologists have the Scientologist actors have done some pretty damn good movies. It's really sad to see that John Travolta and Tom Cruise are Scientologists. They've got some pretty good movies. I hate to hear that. A lot of these other people, I don't even know. That's pretty crazy. So I won't go down the list. We obviously know Grant Cardone is a Scientologist. All right. So since its inception in 1954, the Church of Scientology has been involved in a number of controversies, including the stance of psychiatry. There we go. Scientology's legitimacy as a religion, the church's aggressive attitude in dealing with its perceived enemies and critics, allegations of mistreatment of members, and predatory something. The allegations of mistreatment of members is definitely a thing. So I think you guys get the gist of what Scientology is. And we even touched on, it sounds like a few things that were controversial. Let me talk about the sales part of this. This is quite crazy, actually. Let me make sure I get... what's up, Lorraine? Just getting to... I can't see your guys' chat at the moment just because I'm looking at the screen share here. Let's get into some of these really quick here. I want to talk about... I just decided to Google... sales tactics that Scientology uses, right? See, I typed that up there. I've never done this before, so I thought I'd just do it live. I literally typed this in there right before I started this live stream. And I want to look over this in real time and talk about my experience about how the 10X organization operates itself. In my experience of being a 10X business coach for several years and how relative it is to Scientology. Matter of fact, it's identical. It's literally modeled and mimicked and repackaged Scientology practices. All right, so Scientology employs a variety of sales tactics that include intense personal connection building, utilizing needs analysis to identify vulnerabilities, applying pressure tactics to encourage immediate commitment, and leveraging the foot in the door technique by offering small introductory courses and heavily relying on testimonials and success stories from existing members to build credibility and entice new recruits. Man, this sounds... You know what's funny, though? Aside from Scientology itself, a lot of misguided mentors, especially in the self-help space, coaching, and the mentorship space, they utilize all these tactics too. So it's not like just Scientology does this. Scientology has just gotten so damn successful at what they do, they created a whole cult in itself. Some of these other guys are just like spin-off Scientology. They've ripped off tactics from Scientology and other people who've essentially done the same thing. All right, so let's go down the list of some of these things they use. Building rapport quickly. This actually intrigued me when I just read that right now. Scientology's recruiters are trained to quickly establish a strong personal connection with potential recruits, often is actively listening and showing genuine interest in their life challenges and aspirations. This is what I talk about. So this is very, very relative. This is actually blowing my mind just on the first key point in sales tactics that we're looking at right here. So you heard me talk about fake vulnerability, fake relationships conceived on deception in the network space, right? If you go to any type of self-help event, any type of public speaking event, any networking event, I mean, shit, even if you did a virtual event like a webinar, you will notice there's a lot of fake relationships being formed. And I've talked about this, how people always form a relationship that's conceived on deception, where they're basically in the back of their mind, they're only talking to you because they want something from you. Whether it's now or later, they're only talking to you because they feel like they're going to get something from you. Money is usually the typical thing that they're hoping to get. And so they're faking it. Most people can feel that energy. Even if you're blinded and you're out here chasing money and ego and self-pride, even that person can recognize it. Whether or not we choose to ignore those red flags or not is really the question, and the thing I see happen more often than not. We ignore that. So the fake rapport building, I've talked about that so much. So Scientology is not the only one that does that. It sounds like they're really good at that, though. The needs analysis. I got something to say about this. What does it say here? They carefully assess a person's perceived problems or areas of concern to tailor their pitch and highlight how Scientology can address those specific needs. So I've always said that a sign of a good mentor is if they encourage you to seek them for success, seek them for the answers, and seek them for the solution, not the right person. That's a self-serving entrepreneur. That's a self-serving mentor. That's a self-serving coach. He's not in it to help you. A sign of a good mentor would be someone who encourages you to think for yourself. And if they feel like they can help you, they leave you the liberty and you the freedom to make that discernment yourself. There's no coercion. There's no influencing. There's no pressure. It's just like, I have this. I may be able to help you with this, but that's not for me to decide. It's up for you to decide. I would never suggest someone that they need something from me or that they should do something. Grant Cardone's team does this all the time. And so this is very obvious that his organization has been taught. All his 22-year-old sales reps that roam and vulture around during these events trying to pitch products, they are taught to do this, to frame things in a way that you need this. You should do this. In order to get to the next level, you need to have this. Like, you can't get to the next level without this. And that's very, very much a Scientology thing, it sounds like. So that's actually pretty crazy. So yeah, anytime someone says you need something or you should do something, red flag, all right? Pay attention to that. All right, foot in the door technique. Often they offer a low-cost introductory course or personality test to get the individual to engage and gradually introduce them to more expensive Scientology services. So I think what they're referring to is something like a low-cost or free event, meaning, and Grant does this great. We're giving out free tickets. The first 10 people can go to this event for free, or very low cost. Like $20 for this $5,000 this course. It's normally $5,000. You can pay for it right now for $20, something like that. Once you get in there, then they got your email, then they got your phone number, and then the high pressure sales tactics come into play, which is the next topic right now we're going to go into. Scientology may use tactics like limited time offers, urging immediate decisions, or implying that significant benefits will be missed if they don't join. Not uncommon to a lot of the self-development gurus, right? is very relative. So, like I said, it seems like some of these are exclusive to Scientology, but some of these tactics are also being used by a lot of misguided mentors and organizations as well. This would probably be one of them for sure that's being used by everybody. Limited time offers. I was taught that by Grant. You need to create scarcity. You need to create urgency. Like this time, this offer is only going to last right now. It's only going to happen right now. If you miss out, you're missing out. You're going to miss the train to the promised land. We're going to show you how to do this, and if you miss it, you're screwed. That's a pressure tactic that's being taught by a lot of people, unfortunately. Hey, another reminder, if you guys are watching on the Instagram right now, jump over to YouTube and subscribe to today's Misguided Mentors. I can see your actual chat in live time because I'm focused on that right now, and I eventually want everybody to gravitate to that rather than being Instagram. And it's important to do that because pretty soon I'm going to do interviews. And with that being said, I won't be able to live stream through Instagram while I'm doing that. So make sure you subscribe to today's Misguided Mentors, all right? All right, the next thing is testimonials and success stories. Oh my God, I feel so embarrassed. This brings back memories. They frequently share positive experiences from current members to create social proof and build trust with potential recruits. All right, Grant's organization does this quite a bit. I cannot count how many testimonials I've given to Grant Cardone's programs, Grant Cardone himself. I mean, I can vividly think of like 3 or 4 really, really good ones. As a matter of fact, I'll probably cover some of those because I've posted some of them. It's terrible, man. And the reason, when I think about that now, for obvious reasons, testimonials are like, they hold a lot of weight because they're like reviews, just like a Google review. However, when I honestly think back on the reviews that I gave and the testimonials I gave for Grant Cardone, they were fake. Honestly, I didn't even believe that. When I'm sitting there talking about how, oh my God, Grant Cardone changed my life. Oh my God, 10X changed my life and my business. It was all bullshit. I was making that up. I was honestly just saying those things because I didn't want to be, I was embarrassed that it wasn't working. All right. I didn't want people to know that, like, oh my God, I spent $200,000 plus going to these events, being a part of this organization, and none of this shit is working. It was embarrassing. And a lot of people, I see a lot of people in their organization, even to this day, that I still stay in contact with, doing the same thing. They're out here acting like things are going well, acting like their investments in Grant Cardone and 10X was a good investment, acting like they're being super successful because they made these investments. It's all fake. It's a facade. No one can actually give you tangible proof. Even if you ask them to do this, they couldn't do it. But honestly, just being vulnerable with myself and looking back on the experiences that I had and the testimonials I did, they're fake. I did not believe those. And I'll break those down at a later live stream. But when I think about that now, I only did it to try to make myself look good. I still believed in that third-party validation, like, if I let people know that I'm a partner with Grant Cardone, that's going to give me more validation. It never did. It actually did the worst, for my business. Most people didn't want to talk to me because I was partnered with Grant Cardone, and it made it a lot harder to get on a call because they knew how Grant Cardone and his sales teams operated. Very aggressive, very deceptive and manipulative and harassing and interrogative, all that stuff. So it actually made it worse. But yeah, long story short, the testimonials and the success stories that I've given over the years is all bullshit, and it was fake, and I didn't believe it, and I only made that stuff up and acted like I was doing well because I was embarrassed. That was probably the number one reason. I did not want people to know that I was not doing well because of the embarrassment. And I'm honest enough to admit that. There's a lot of people that are still in the organization that will, either never come to that conclusion or they're just not ready to yet. And that's okay, but I am. In order for me to start over and be honest, I'm just telling it like it is, and I'm breaking it down. And if that involves me throwing myself under the bus, so be it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed of it. Upselling. Once a person has committed to a certain level of Scientology services, they may be encouraged to progress to more expensive courses or auditing sessions. Very, very much a 10X organization carbon copy technique. Upselling is the thing. Like if you're going to the Grant Cardone 10X Growth Conference, I promise you, mark my words, you're going to be upsold a bazillion times. Probably a dozen realistically. You're going to be upsold from the stage. You're going to be upsold. It's a 3-day event. So after each day, all these little networking get-togethers afterwards, while you're drinking, you're having a good time, you're going to have all these sales reps just hounding you to buy the next thing. Most of the sales that come to 10X and Grant Cardone are from the 10X events, are from the biggest event, which is the 10X Growth Conference event. It's just the sales are pouring in, and a lot of those sales are happening because of the upsells and the pressure that comes with that. It's easy for them to do that and to get people to convert because they've brainwashed them for hours and days. All right. So this is a very real thing that's happening. The hard sell. Scientology sales tactics can be very persistent and persuasive, with recruiters often contacting potential recruits multiple times to maintain engagement. We all know, if you're on Grant Cardone's email list, you know damn well, I don't have to even explain it to you. The hardest sell is coming. You're getting upsold. You are getting aggressively pitched on phone calls and emails regularly. All right. So that's definitely. So the reason I went through this is crazy. I've never actually seen that before, but now that I have seen it, that actually, let me get rid of this real quick here. That's actually pretty damn crazy to see that in real life. And I promise you now that especially after reading that was the first time I've ever Googled that or read that. It was all real-time reactions you guys just seen. 10X, Grant Cardone, all of that is completely identically modeled and mimicked after Scientology. And reading that and going over that just kind of solidified that even more. Very sad to see that. So what you were saying, Kat, is what you're breaking down is the instructional manual for fake, misleading, and misguided mentors. Exactly. The opposite of the Bible, which is the instruction manual for me and your spiritual life. 100%. What's up, Melinda? What's up, your neighbor's dog? This is the breakdown for all these scammy cults. 100%. That's what I was saying when I was going down that list. I was like, wow, now that I see this, it's actually not too far off from how a lot of these self-help gurus operate. A lot of these misguided mentors really, Ron Hubbard ripped that off from somebody at some point too. All he did was add his science fiction story to the mix and made it more of a cult organization, which is pretty crazy actually, now that you think about it. Kat, you were saying you suspect there will be empty seats at the last 10X Growth Con. Yeah, quote unquote last 10X Growth Con. Definitely not the last one. Matter of fact, to your point, when I went over this, what was that? One of the sales tactics was the where's it at? The pressure tactics, the limited time offer, the urging immediate decisions, or implying that significant benefits will be missed if they don't join now. That's one of the tactics. So mark my words. I promise you, you've heard Grant say this. It's the last 10X Growth Conference ever. I promise you next year they're going to have another 10X Growth Conference. Watch. Mark my words. This is a Scientology tactic, all right? And this is exactly what I just went down. So yeah, it's not the last one, and it's another way to create urgency, and it's another way to, it's a false sense of urgency. And to be honest, I think he's doing it because sales are down. I think sales are down from last few years of the 10X Growth Conference. I honestly believe that. All right, so now that you mentioned it, Kat, let's see what this. I only heard about the Super Bowl commercial, so let's see what we can find here. Let's take a peek at this. I just pulled this up. Okay, the Church of Scientology is set to captivate audiences during the Super Bowl with its latest ad, The Question. This visually stunning 30-second commercial marks the 13th consecutive year the church has premiered a new ad during the big game, which draws over 120 million viewers annually. Are you serious? I've never noticed a Scientology commercial during the Super Bowl. Now, granted, I haven't watched the Super Bowl since the Seahawks lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who long? I mean, that was a while ago, like a decade ago or whatever. However, even prior to that, I don't remember them doing that. That's crazy. All right, the Super Bowl has long been the stage for groundbreaking campaigns, and the question promises to stand out among the most creative and thought-provoking ads of the year. The new ad explores humanity's timeless search for answers to life's biggest questions. While these answers have been sought across time and space, the question offers a profound perspective that the answers can be found within each individual, awaiting to be unlocked. Wow, this sounds deep, right? And intriguing, the way they actually put this. With more than 11,000 Scientology churches, missions, and groups across 6 continents, the church's message of self-discovery is available in 17 languages. The question will also roll out on the church's social media platforms, including X, Facebook, and Instagram throughout the game, ensuring that viewers worldwide can experience the ad's powerful and resonant message. That is crazy. Oh, okay, so every year since the 2013, the church has aired a Super Bowl ad to uplift and engage audiences. 2013, so, okay. So when I was watching the Super Bowl, I think it was before then, so that probably explains why I have never seen a Scientology ad. That is crazy. I wonder if we could see the actual ad. Where is the ad? Let me see if I can find this. The question. Here we go. Let's watch the ad.
From the first stirrings of wonder, in the first sparks of curiosity, there was a question older than humanity, deeper than any language ever conceived, more powerful than all the weapons and armies of the world. More elusive than the farthest extremes of exploration. Tantalizing, but out of reach for all generations. But what if the answer was never there at all? What if the answer to every secret of the universe was not at the edges of the earth or at the ends of the stars, but within you, waiting to be unlocked?
Wow. And they put a QR code there. Okay. Interesting. Wow. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Crazy. So, all right, let me catch up on your comments here, and then I'll give my comments and my thoughts on that commercial really quick here. So you were saying you only had a few pence on me and explained that it could that you couldn't afford it, but after literally tussling with you, they took your money and handed you the book, and they were so eager to make a sale. Shoot, I didn't see the beginning part of that, Lorraine. Needless to say, you took the book and ran, pretended you would return to them. Not a chance. It was peculiar. That was enough for you to realize they were not genuine. Interesting. Are you talking about Scientology or a different organization? Because I didn't know that about you. Yeah, exactly. Your neighbor's dog. That's scary. People out there trying to trap naive minds. You know, And to your point there, there are people that are naive, but I will say that being deceived, being manipulated, being interrogated, harassed, and taken for, that honestly could happen to the best of people. After it happened to me, after I've seen it happen to very, very high level people, super successful people, I realize it can happen to anybody. It really can. That's pretty crazy, Lorraine. I didn't know that you had an interaction with Scientology like that. That's wild. So yeah, it sounds like you got a taste of it. All right, so that commercial, just let me give you my thoughts just at the end there. So you notice how they talked about, remember how I said earlier they use something good and they use a good message for bad? So they're right. They talked about how the answers at the end there, the answers are within you. That's true. I agree with that. I agree that all the tools we need are within us. All the answers are within us. But it's contradictory to what they promote, because they have you do a clearing, right? And they try to expose your vulnerabilities, and they try to they tell you that message, right? That you have all the answers within you. Sound all mysterious. But then on the flip side, they tell you, like, we have the answers. We have the solution. We can help you. We can show you the way. You just need to join us. All right. See the inconsistency with that? How can you sit there and tell somebody that answers are within them and then flip it on them and say, the answers are within you, but we have the answers? Doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And that's what I get from that now that I'm wide awake. Okay. So Lorraine, you were saying that was in the 80s that you knew about them. That's crazy. And Melinda, I've had a personal conversation with Melinda, where she had a very unpleasant experience with Grant Cardone and the 10X organization. I consider, after having a good conversation with Melinda and her explaining her experience, she's very much a very intelligent person, and got deceived. It can really happen to the best of people. It's really unfortunate and it's sad, which is why I created this channel. Like, I realized there are good people out there that really want to, like, whatever. They want to be a better person in business or life in general. And then here comes someone like Grant. Here comes an organization like Scientology or anybody in the self-help space trying to promise you and sell you a dream that we have the answers and the solutions. And even to the best of people, that can be attractive. If you have a little bit of an uncertainty, a little doubt, a little fear, which everybody does. It's human. It's normal. It's okay. I have it. We all have it. It's just how we navigate that. But if someone comes in at the right time when you have that and you're having that moment, there's a good chance they can actually get you. They can get in your head, and they can really coerce you into, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It can happen to the best of people. And exactly, Lorraine, that's a contradiction. Like I was saying, like, to sit there and say, it's the answers are within you, but we have the answers. We're going to show you. We have the levels that you need to achieve and pay for. It's only going to cost you, $20,000, $100,000, but we'll show you what you have inside of you. It's like, this is weird. That doesn't even make sense. But yeah, Melinda, you're saying to think even poor Gary. So yeah, even Gary Brecka. And by the way, I have my opinions about Gary Brecka. I think he does some stuff that I don't agree with. But generally speaking, I think Gary Brecka is a good dude deep down. And I think ultimately he was tempted by Grant to alter and manipulate his approach in business. And I think he felt that. And honestly, he probably would have kept chasing the money and the ego and the status had Brandon Dawson never double-crossed him. Had he not got a taste of Brandon Dawson and Natalie Dawson and Cardone Ventures. I'm really glad that he actually experienced that, because it woke him up to his own characteristics, his own morals, his own ethics. And if I had to guess, I'd love to have like a genuine conversation with Gary Brecka about what he was going through, what he felt, the transcending of him going from good, maybe to evil, back to good. Because that's my journey. You know, I started my company and I wanted to help people. I wanted to provide a solution. And then I got mentorship under Grant, and he started teaching me how to deceive, how to manipulate, how to interrogate, how to do all that shit that wasn't in alignment with me. And it really just turned me into a nasty person. And then I had to get back to my person, to the real Ben that I am. And I care about people, and I don't want to deceive. I don't want to do the stuff that Grant teaches that's not in alignment with me. And that was a whole like yin yang and a whole yo-yo process, which is another thing I'm going to start talking about. You know, I had to go through an entire deconstruction phase in business and in selling. I had to unlearn the things that I learned from Grant. And there's a lot of people out here that are either just a sales rep or an employee for people like Grant, or a business owner who's learning these ways. And some of these people have to unlearn these tactics, unlearn these unethical, deceptive ways of selling and doing business. And so I think there's a huge need for that, which is another reason why I started today's Misguided Mentors, because I'm going to tap into that as well. Lorraine, you were saying your dad had an encounter also, and they got to him, helping him with reading and writing. He was excited. They used different tactics. He left after buying many books. That's unfortunate to hear. I hate hearing that. There's other people too that I've had conversations with that have been sucked into cults. You know, and it's really sad to see that. There's nothing worse than seeing, you know, and I'll talk to Malia about this. I'm actually going to bring her in here, and we can talk about her experience with, before we wrap this up. I want to get her thoughts on this really quick. Let me just do that because I'm running out of time, and I'll make sure I get her in here. All right. 1 second. Malia, you want to come in here for a sec? I didn't know she could hear me. I think she's doing homework. Yo, guys, if you're on Instagram, make sure you jump over to YouTube and subscribe to today's Misguided Mentors, okay? I really appreciate the support. Not only that, I'll be able to engage with you better on that platform, because that's where I'm going to be going to, all right? Let me see if I could switch this for us. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm good.
Good.
It's cold in here.
It's cold? It's because it gets hot, so I have to make sure to... I got to make sure to get the air conditioner. Where you at? Get the air conditioner on while I'm podcasting. All right, so I thought it would be a good time to get you on here because I was literally just talking about how, you know, someone on here, Lorraine, was saying that... Here, let me do this real quick. Bam, there we go. Lorraine was just saying that her dad was had an experience with Scientology, and I was talking about Scientology, and the whole thumbnail I put up was, you know, Grant Cardone turned you and me into Scientologists without us even knowing it. Obviously, maybe that's exaggerating a little bit, but he was trying to. But I just had this thought, and I thought it was...
Maybe not he was trying.
Right. But I wanted to ask you, like, what did you think about me being in this organization? Like, was that ever scary to you? Did you ever think about that? Was anything weird to you while I was in here, while I was, like, always talking about Grant? I was always talking about 10X. I was, you know, just glorified. Did anything ever seem weird to you during that?
Yeah.
Like what? Like elaborate.
Like,
I never asked you. By the way, I've never asked her this question. It just came up right now in real time.
One is like you stopped spending more time with me.
I stopped? Okay. Well, I'm sorry. What else, though? Is there anything else that seemed odd to you?
I feel like you would put more time into doing... You would try to get, like you know, when you would go to someone's house for precision patio covers, and you'd show them, you know?
Uh-huh.
I thought that was really weird.
Oh, how I always talked about Grant Cardone while I was like...
Like you were really glorifying him. And then it was really weird when you got that picture of him. I was weirded out.
How embarrassing.
I was so weirded out.
Yeah, so what she's talking about is...
in the bedroom, too. Why in the bedroom?
I got a custom picture of Grant Cardone on like a big frame, and it was in it was like a picture of Grant Cardone's quotes. Anyways, it was weird. It was in my bedroom. It was just a face of Grant Cardone in my bedroom. It cost like $600 to get that sucker made, and I was ultimately glorifying the guy. But okay, I was just curious if there was something that felt... Okay, so that felt weird to you. Is there anything else that just seemed weird to you? Like,
maybe not you, but like I remember you would... Not you. When you put me in the 10X like kids program.
We're going to talk about that in a sec, yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about like put your mentor before your parents.
What the hell?
And I was like, it's like should you go to before? Like who should you go to when you have a problem? And I remember it said like publicist or something, and it said parents, and then it said mentor. I put parents, family, friends, then I put mentor, and then I put publicist, and it said wrong.
Wow.
And then I put mentor, and then family at the last, and it said correct.
So
I was like, that's crazy. That's messed up.
So we'll talk about that actually. And what she's talking about, I'll actually try to find a video. I know I have a video on my old profile where we'll talk about that. And this is what I mean by Grant Cardone and the organization was trying to turn me and her into a Scientologist. I wasn't kidding when I said that. So basically, there's a program that Grant put out called 10X Kids. Me and her were at a Grant Cardone Foundation where they launched that program and introduced it and started it. She was there. It was a whole cocktail dinner. And I'll show you some videos of that really quick. And then I'll try to find the video that she's where on the program 10X Kids that she's talking about. But essentially what you're saying is...
It was telling you to go to Grant, pretty much.
Before me?
Yeah.
How dare he? That
That's
doesn't
messed
shock
up.
me.
That's messed up.
That doesn't shock me that someone so pompous like him is actually suggesting that. That's pretty wild, actually.
And I remember, I think I told you this. I stopped doing it, and I kept telling you I was doing it because I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like that's just a lie. Like I was too smart right there, and I still am. But I'm too smart to fall. I'm not that dumb to fall into that trap of mentor before family. No.
Yeah, and honestly, I truly apologize for that. I've told you that before, but I'll just say it again. Like, I really am sorry that I got so brainwashed that it actually makes me want to cry. That's crazy. That I got so freaking brainwashed that I tried to get you involved in something that you didn't align with. And I'm sorry. I'm like legitimately crying. Yeah.
I didn't look. I was looking at this.
It actually hurts my feelings. Not hurts my feelings, but I'm super sorry that I did that. And I know you know I am, but it's more me just thinking about that time. And yeah, it's really sad that I was just so engrossed in something that I was like, I'm gonna get my entire family involved with this.
It also reminded me of like that. Remember when you had that picture in your room? It reminded me from the clip from White Chicks where he was, remember the guy was in the house and he brought over his
Yeah.
and there was just a picture of the guy and he's like, yeah, that's my mentor.
Yeah, you were talking.
And I was like, that's so
about,
weird. I want to see myself as him one day.
You were talking about who was the actor? God, I cannot think of that guy's name. Yeah. If you haven't seen the movie, watch it. It's so funny. It's White Chicks, and there's a moment where he's acting like he's his trainer, that big buff dude, and he walks in. There's like a picture of him.
He's like, "Who's that?" And she went, "Who's that?" And he went, "Oh yeah, that's my mentor. I want to look like him one day."
Yeah.
And that was so funny. He's like, "I want to envision myself," and it was like the complete opposite.
So let me I'm gonna show you guys a couple videos, bring back some memories for you, Malia, and then have you
I was gonna say, I don't remember anything.
And that's okay. That's why I'm gonna refresh your memory with this right quick.
Oh, now I remember.
Now you remember?
I don't like that picture.
Well,
that's where you got that picture from.
There we go.
I mean, I like the shoes.
This is on my old Instagram profile. This was the event I was talking to you guys about where they launched 10X Kids.
Oh, they can see that?
Yeah, they can see that. Not Instagram. As a reminder, you guys on Instagram should go and subscribe to YouTube, Today's Misguided Mentors. That way you can see what I'm showing you and you guys can interact then there.
I love it.
So, yeah.
What was that? What do you mean? I love it.
God, this was 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years
December 1st, 4 years ago.
3 years ago from last December.
So, as you can see, Malia is kind of smiling, but there's actually a video on here where, in my opinion, you look very uncomfortable. Watch.
Thank you. Absolutely. Give me a 10X. Nice. Thank you. Absolutely.
And I can tell you didn't want to do that. Here's a video of you talking to Elena Cardone.
I liked Elena
Elena Cardone's actually got... I don't know. Yeah, I'll
show that one. It was really good.
Oh my God, you're so young. You're 8 years old.
She's trying to make a difference.
That's crazy. So there is a video.
Right,
oh yeah, listen to the way Grant Cardone talks to her, like she's a freaking
like a
toddler,
like a 2-year-old.
Watch this.
Look at that! You guys look amazing!
That actually irritated me.
Like turn around like you're my puppet. Like
that actually irritated me when I seen that. I was like, I can't believe he's talking to you like you're a freaking toddler. What was the video? Oh, that's right. The 10X.
let's bring back memories.
All right, so let me go back. I know, right? Some of these are crazy to look at. Don't mind the overgrown soul patch, man. That's...
I know. I didn't want to embarrass you by saying anything, but like that was very ingrown.
Yeah. Yeah, let me catch up with you guys here. Definitely, Lorraine, it's super deep. And Kat, yeah, it pisses me off too that he's infecting young minds. And she was also saying, "Good for you, Malia, for standing up and saying no." She was saying, "I'm not."
About what? Saying no about what? I'm kind of confused.
About 10X Kids.
Oh yeah, I was like, no.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up. She was saying over it, Ben, it's okay. You didn't know. Yeah, I don't beat myself up anymore. Like that's why I say it can happen to the best of people. It was just sad. It can be emotional thinking about that. I was so engrossed in that organization and that thought process. And, it was in a cult. I was in a cult. So being in a cult is actually... It's tough for people to actually get out of it and deconstruct their mind and get back to themselves, and it's a process. And so,
Kat said weird and creepy. Yeah, it was definitely creepy and weird.
Super weird and creepy. Give me a sec, guys. I am going to try to find the one. I think I made one video where Malia got.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right here.
So, okay, really quick. Oh, I remember that. One time when I forgot it. Dang it.
What?
What were we just talking about?
I was talking about how being in a cult is a lot. It it takes a lot to deconstruct and get back to that. and I said I wanted to find a video of you.
Oh, you wanted me to become one of the like head leaders to talk to other kids.
Yeah, so that was another thing.
And I think you got really, not mad, because I don't want to make it sound like you got mad. I don't want to sound like over exaggerating, but you got like a little frustrated that I didn't want to do it. You're like, why didn't you want to do it? I'm like, in my mind, like, why can't I not do it? I don't want to do it.
Yeah, and deep down, I probably was mad at the time, because I wanted you to be engrossed with it too. And again, that's sad. That's sad to think about that I was getting you involved in it that much too. Yeah, so 10X Kids, they basically are recruiting kids to lead the 10X Kids organization. There's some people that I know still to this day that are 10X business coaches or 10X business advisors, and their kids are being involved. Their kids are like ambassadors of 10X Kids, and I was trying to get Malia to be one of those kids, and really putting the pressure on you too. And I'm sorry for that as well. I'm really glad that you didn't, and there's a reason for all that. There's a reason I didn't go deeper, and even though I was there for several years, there's a good reason why I didn't go deeper, and there's a good reason why Malia didn't go deeper.
So I was just reading the Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if it like resonated with this. That's why.
Well, yeah. Kat, you were saying your tears resonated with me. I just wanted to support you through them. Glad you weren't beating yourself up. Yeah. I'm not beating myself up, but I am human and I have emotions, and there's some things that are sad and things that are happy. I cry when I'm happy about things more often than I am sad, and it's usually not my own. It's just something I feel within people that I feel energy quite a bit, and usually those emotions are coming up because I feel it within other people. Jay, you were saying you should share our story with Growing Up Scientology. I actually have shared my story with Aaron and Growing Up Scientology. So maybe one of these times we can get Malia on there. Who knows? That'd be pretty cool too. Jane, you were saying Grant is definitely one of the biggest scam artists out there. 100%. I agree. All right, so we got to get going. But before we go, I want to show you the video that I was trying to look for where Malia was learning on 10X Kids. All right. Here, let's collapse that. All right, check this out. Oh.
Limited by your mind.
Can't hear it. Why not?
In this course, you will learn how to apply the 10X rule to your own life. Through discussion, thinking, practice, and commitment, you'll gain the right mindset to make the impossible possible.
The world needs you and your dreams. Grant will show you how to make those dreams a reality by living a 10X life, no matter where you start.
No matter where you come from or what your situation is, you can do great things and live the life you dream of. Let's begin with a thinking activity.
Well, you take your mask off.
Write down the following prompts.
I want to sit down. Exactly.
You will. One sec. We're just getting through this first intro, and then we'll set you up.
Think about where you live. Do you wish there was more of any full potential, and your potential is...
Okay.
No, I really don't.
So that was...
I was happy with where I lived.
Right.
And where I live.
So that was just an example of the type of training courses that 10X Kids promotes and the type of training that she was going through. You know, it's weird that I noticed when...
I just noticed something too.
Did you? So I noticed that Grant was, or the audio was saying that Grant will show you how to do this stuff.
What happened to family?
So it's like, again, that whole narrative of like, Grant's got the answers. Grant's got the solutions. Everything you need is in Grant. And that's pretty scary, actually, to think that program, 10X Kids, is being promoted to kids, and that message is being promoted and instilled in them very early, that Grant has got the answers. Grant's got the solutions. He's going to show you how to do this, how to do that, how to achieve your potential. It's pretty crazy, and the deception is pretty sad to see that they're trying to target kids with that program. But Jay, you were saying you made the right choice. They get kids signed up to the kids the kids to disconnect with their families. Unfortunately, that is true. Jay Sweet, you were saying, what year did you interview with him? I want to check it out. I'll send you send me a comment in this section, and I can send it to you. It was 1 year ago. It was about 1 year ago. There's a thumbnail. It was a live stream, so check his lives. I tried reaching out to him again to see if I can jump on there, but he's just been so busy lately. He's got a lot of things going on. It is crazy. That's really scary and sad. And but anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then obviously Malia, I think, speaks volumes to her experience with that, and just how messed up that whole situation is. So anyways,
I was about to go to the bathroom because I think dinner's
tell me what. Yeah, we're about to hop off for dinner, but
Same thing.
you said you noticed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, about like Grant was saying like Grant has the answers. You notice that Grant has the answers.
It's the whole suggestion that you should seek him.
Like what happened to like family? What happened to teachers?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that, I didn't catch that because, even as a parent, maybe I should vet and check out the programs you're listening to, but it wouldn't have mattered. I was so brainwashed that...
even like... You're finished. I can remember.
I wouldn't have noticed anyway that because I was in it and I was brainwashed.
What I was going to say is when it... oh my god, I forgot. I'm just gonna start writing it down.
That's okay. But yeah, essentially, very sad to think about that. I sucked my daughter into the organization, and essentially, long story short, when I look back on that situation and that entire that whole experience, I feel like Grant was trying to turn me and her into Scientologists, essentially. And I will say this. One of the things that Scientology is really sneaky at is getting the person that really is engrossed in the organization to promote for them. I promoted Grant so much. I branded my truck. There was 10X all over my truck. I talked about it all the time. There's plenty of people that I turned on, that I turned them on to Grant Cardone. And I feel really bad thinking about that now. But that's part of this deception. That's part of this manipulation is how can we get people to promote this stuff for free? Let's just get them to do it. Let's get them to idolize me, get them to really get it so engrossed that they're going to promote it for free. They're going to promote it without them even knowing it. And that's part of being in Scientology is promote, and that's one of Grant's messages. So it's very scary.
It's kind of messy, if you notice, But
all right.
But I was saying, if you notice, I was like, I want to sit down, but I think I was also mad because, I know I was also mad because, I knew I didn't want to do it. I feel like I was being forced to do the TNX Kids program.
Yeah, and I was forcing you to do it, and again, I'm sorry, I feel really bad for that. I'm really glad that we didn't go down that rabbit hole anymore. So we're going to jump off here, guys. We got
Dinner.
100% that should be illegal. And Lisette, you said that scary stuff, these people claiming to be gods, glad we got away, and we can teach you, Malia, about it, and she's planning to show her daughter what a scam is. It was through a similar situation. So 100%. I obviously have a lot of compassion for people who go through that. And so, yes, Malia very much knows what a scam is now that she's seen her dad go through it. And not only that, was getting involved with it herself and was almost being sucked into that organization by her dad. So very scary. A whole nother concept about misguided mentors and what I teach, and also being aware of that. Like, parents need to pay attention to that too. Parents need to be aware of the things that they're trying to get their children involved in? Are the parents thinking for themselves, or are the parents actually adopting someone else's mindset, whether it be a mentor or a coach or an organization, and thinking it's theirs, and then now they're trying to get their kid to embody that thought process as well? That's scary. That's a question parents need to ask themselves, all right? And so I always encourage people to think for themselves and for people to look within themselves and not seek answers and solutions and guidance outside themselves and rely on it. I'm not saying you can't learn and you can't get guidance. That's not what I'm saying. Don't misinterpret that. What I'm saying is don't be codependent on that. You know what I mean? So, no, I did not see that Ryan Panetta interview. Make sure you send it to me. Send it to me in DMs. Go if you don't follow me on Instagram, send it to me there. Benjamin John Massive Impact, Benjamin John MIC. Make sure I get that because this might be stuff I can cover and go over. We got to get going though. Kira's calling me. Dinner's ready, and I've been on here for quite a bit. But I wanted to make sure Malia had a chance to share her thoughts. And share her experience with this as well. And long story short, Grant Cardone is a master manipulator and really good at trying to get people to be a Scientologist without actually saying they're Scientologists. It's pretty crazy. So, anything else you want to leave them with?
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. I love that. Unrelated, but
kind of
valuable.
Kind of related.
Yeah.
Work smarter.
All right. Yeah, if it went bad, a progress, send it to me. Let me know. I would love to check it out. I'm not a huge fan of Ryan Panetta. Another misguided mentor, in my opinion. But anyways, guys, thanks for hopping on here. Thanks for listening to Malia. And
Are you going to be out in a minute?
Yeah, I'm coming out right now. Thanks for hopping on here and listening to Malia talk about her experience. I think it's super powerful. I didn't expect me to actually cry on a live podcast. You know, that's real though. That's real stuff. And it's really sad to think about, but you know what? I'm super grateful that we came through it. I'm super grateful that we're out of it. We did not go down that rabbit hole further. And I'm so glad I did not get her to be a 10X Kids ambassador. Oh my God. Phew, that was almost a bad thing right there. So anyways, absolutely, you're welcome, Lizette. My pleasure. Kat, thank you. I'll tell her. She ran off. I think she's ready to eat. Anyways, guys, take care. We're gonna jump off here, and stay tuned for the. I have so many good ideas on podcast topics, so stay tuned because I'm gonna get pumping out here, and I'm starting to realize what you guys want me to talk about, and so just trying to stay on that topic and see how I can help along the lines of misguided mentors, and then also kind of give you guys the content that you want to hear. So anyways, take care, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks for the engagement, and thanks for your experiences, and thanks for sharing, and thanks for your feedback as well. All right, take care, guys.